Good morning. Let me just move the light here and hopefully that's better for you. So it's been raining here on our lovely summer's day. We've had hail and thunder and lightning yesterday. So I thought I'd do a bit of sewing up before I go out and wash my car because it needs a wash. And I'm just going to take this little short end decide on the middle. Now some people, when you're knitting across before you sew it while it's still flat, you find the exact middle for the legs and the boots, and you can do a purl stitch there so that when you're sewing up you can follow that purl stitch, but I didn't worry about that. I'm just going to have a go doing it this way. We'll see what happens. So some of you said you've already finished your doll, which is excellent. Love to hear that. I started my channel because I just like to show how easy some things can be, and everyone can have a go. Don't stress. As you can see, I'm just going up and down. Trying to get through that stuffing. It certainly was easier not going through the stuffing, doing it the other way. And I've chosen a shorter piece of yarn, which wasn't a bright idea, but I thought I'd use this longer piece to go across the bottom. So because it's coming out, I'll just thread it through after I put the needle through. You learn all these little tricks. So it certainly sews up tighter, I think easier. I sewed this first, then stuffed each individual leg. I think I might be happier doing it that way. Next time I'll have a go. So I want to be very ambitious. You can see the legs separating there. I want to be very ambitious and I want to do a Paddington bear. So I may as well video my attempts at doing Paddington bear if you might be interested in just picking up some ideas. I've even got an idea of how I might make a suitcase and a long coat instead of just a short jacket. So there's his legs separated. I'll use this to go across the bottom. Not as defined as the girl's one. So what I'll do now, I'll just leave that sticking out for a while. What I'll do now is get some blue, cut it quite long, and I will do the trouser part. Shh, Holly. Oh, Holly, shh. She's barking at the neighbour. He's outside on his deck. She always barks when she hears the neighbours, but she loves going over to visit them. She doesn't bark at them when she's over there, but she'll bark when she can hear them. And she's trying to peek under the fence because there's a new fence gone up. So instead of being a fence that you can see through the palings, it's now solid. She can't see, so she's not happy. So yes, certainly harder to get through the stuffing. So I'm glad you're finding my little attempts at doing things helpful. I have a lot of knitting and crochet tutorials. I have some travelling videos if you're interested in looking at my travels around New Zealand. Before the lockdowns, I went and sold my little camper van. I do really miss it, but I couldn't keep stooping over in it. It hurt my back. So I've got a little caravan, but after my accident I'm a bit nervous now. But I've been waiting for the weather to warm up and get lovely. We seem to have very slow starts to summer here over the last few years. I'm able to pull it a bit tighter. I think that might be the last one. I won't go any higher. Gosh, one of my YouTube friends, so I think that's high enough, so I've pulled that a bit tighter. Can you see? It looks all right. Looks all right on the back. I'm not too worried about the back. And now I want to do the arms. So when you use a variegated yarn, it's pot luck of what colour you end up sewing up with. But if you pull it tight enough, you obviously can't really see. So I'm going to pull plenty off. So yes, one of the channels I watched, she did this lovely chat about memories of your childhood and Christmas and holidays, school holidays. So I just eyeball where you think you might want to start your arms. It doesn't really matter if it's not perfect. Well, now look at that. I'm at the top there, but I'm not at the back. Oh well, no one's going to look at the back. We'll work on that. Next one. Always improve the next one. No, I don't want the yarn coming out that way, so I'll start here. You can always improve. Don't let your worries that you're not perfect stop you from doing something. Never be afraid to have a go. I was always worried about, oh, it won't be good enough and I can't have a go. And yes, so listening to this other lady talking about her memories growing up as a child in Australia, because Southern Hemisphere we have our Christmas and long holidays through, that's our summer, because we grow up with all the Christmas cards and the songs about a white Christmas, but we never get it. But it was still normal just to hear about white Christmases. We just never had one. And it didn't worry us because that was just normal Christmas. So I'm just going to carry this yarn through to the other side and bring it up where I want the other arm to be, so I don't have to cut it. So our neighbour's been building fences and moving his garage, and he's laying a new concrete pad, so lots of exciting things happening. So I go over to see what they're doing, and he's been absolutely wonderful coming over to help me with bits and pieces, and very supportive, helping me with the caravan when it came home after being fixed. One more. Oh, not perfect, but there's his arms and his legs, and I'll just sew it along the bottom. Totally different look. Look at her little skinny arms with nothing in it. He's got something in his arms. He's got muscles. He's a farmer. He's got muscles. We don't even want to know what the back looks like at the moment. I'll look at that later. So let's just bring the yarn through. And because these are a charity doll that you gift, even though they need to be well made, people receiving them aren't going to look if your sewing and your knitting isn't absolutely perfect. If you're selling them, you'd have to be perfect, but as far as I know, these dolls aren't to be sold. They're the Izzy dolls, but then someone said to me, well, the original Izzy dolls had arms and legs that stuck out. And so they reckon these aren't the originals and that they can be sold. So I don't know. Everyone's got a different idea. I'm just going to carry that through there. So having that waste yarn, even though I didn't pull it, it's kept it out flat so I can see the stitches. One thing on the little girl doll, there was no waste yarn. I had to pick up, try and thread it through later, and oh gosh, it was actually quite hard to see. So putting that waste yarn in while you're knitting certainly is easier. And I love these needles with the little fishing wire on the end. I don't know what you call these needles. Are they wool needles? Tapestry needles? No, I don't know. I had to go and get some more from the shop because I lost mine. I couldn't find it. And I had to go in and I was saying, oh, you know those needles that have a great big wire on the end for your wool to go through, but they're not ordinary needles? And she's going, no. We worked out later, this other lady that worked there said, oh, we think she means wool needles. So they had to order them in, and when they got them, I said, yes, those are the right ones. There you go. His gumboots are sewn up. So there's my little farmer boy. So I'm going to have a go at changing the brim, and I'm going to put his eyes and a little mouth on. I thought if the brim was coming out properly, it would cover his eyes, so all you'd see is his mouth. It would have a big fluffy brim. But I'm going to have a go. So I'm going to put my ends in, but yeah, that's come out quite well with his little funny witch's hat. looks quite good. So I will do his face in a different video.